everyone, my name is Patricia. This summer I'm going to be traveling to China, therefore I thought it's going to be a great idea to make a video and aid you in applying for the visa for China. China is yet another country where if you want to travel to, you need to apply for a visa. There are different reasons for applying for a visa, and many people find this a very daunting or a scary process. But I am going to walk you through the process, and hopefully you will gain more confidence by the end of this video. On the organization website, we are going to look for United Kingdom and select the center we're going to go to. I'm going to select London. On the main page, I'm going to click on step-by-step guidance, where, first of all, I'm going to answer the first question. I'm going to visit the visa center and going to collect my passport. Then there are presented different types of visas. You can go to visit a relative, you can go for work, for study, for your job, but I'm going to select the F visa, which stands for cultural exchange, the aim of my visit. Next, I'm going to go through terms and conditions, where different terminologies are presented and different conditions. I'm going to type in the verification code that proves that I have read and accepted all the terms and conditions. After doing that, I'm going to simply press next step. The next part is about preparation and documents needed. The first one obviously is the passport, where you need an available passport with at least 6 months of validity and enough pages that are free. Then the visa application form that you will be filling in online, where you need to provide all the correct information and a picture. The terms and conditions that you will need to print out, a proof of legal status. I provided my enrollment letter from the university, a photocopy of the Chinese visa in case you are a Chinese citizen, an invitation letter, which is the most important part of the application that proves why you are going to go to China, otherwise you will not get a visa. There are other specific notes which say that all documents need to be either in original or in copy, and the copy needs to be readable. Then there are a couple of frequently asked questions. Most of the time people ask whether they need to go to pick their visa their own or they need to go in person to apply for it. This is a yes, just because now they are collecting also your fingerprint when you're applying for the visa. They also instruct you what you should do when you arrive at the visa center, and beforehand you need to arrive there timely and early, because you need to queue in order to have all your documents checked before you go to see one of the counselors. You cannot cancel your application after you submitted it. In terms of payment, you need to make a payment after you have submitted your visa. You need to go to collect it, as I said, either in person or by post, which it takes a little longer, and you need to fill in a few additional papers. Now, we are going to click on Quick Access, where we're going to start filling in our application. Here, there are some options that you must click on. We are going to choose New Application Form, where you have a few instructions saying that you can come back if you don't finish your application. You can go back and forth, but you cannot go next if you haven't filled in a specific part of the application. You can save it up to 90 days. You need to print it and sign it after you have finished it, and also print a few documents that are going to be generated after you have printed the application that prove that you have finished it and it's also for your appointment. There are similar information that you have read on the step-by-step guidance. Including the terms and conditions. This is how the application is structured. It has 10 subsections. Each subsection relevant to your trip to China. Now, here I have my laptop in front of me, so I'm going to talk individually through each section of the application. The first section is called personal information. In this section, as you may have guessed already, there are questions about yourself. So you have to provide your name, your nationality, your passport number, your date of birth, and everything has to be filled in correctly and accurately. Also, in this section, you need to provide a photo. There are specific information for providing a photo. It needs to be very well visible. You need to show your entire face. You don't have to wear glasses. You have to take your hair behind your ears, so the entire shape of your face is clearly seen. The next part is called application information. The third section is called work information, where they ask you about your work history. In this case, I haven't had to provide any additional information just because I am a student, I don't have a job. Therefore, I jumped over that part and moved forward to the fourth section, which is entitled Education. Here, I provide my educational information in a chronological order, with starting with high school and then university. The next section is called travel information. In this section, they usually ask you for your flight details. This may seem a little bit daunting for some people because they have to buy a plane ticket before they have even find out whether they have a visa or not. But usually this process is 100% accurate and you don't really need to worry if you have all the specific documents, and if you have done all the preparation that they ask for. There is no need to worry, so just go ahead, buy your tickets and then fill in the relevant information. The next section, number 7, it's called travel information in the past. This applies for people that have traveled to China before, so this time this section applies to me as well, just because last summer I traveled to China, so therefore they wanted to know where I traveled to, not necessarily what I did, but they just wanted to know the city and the institution maybe I went to. So last summer I also went to a university there, so I just said that I was to the Sichuan University. But they also have relevant information for my last application, so they know why I was there. And also I had to provide my past visa, which was in my passport, so they just looked over that and like, okay, you're good to go. Yes. Next section is other information, where they ask you about your criminal status, which obviously doesn't apply, and other information about your health and your well-being, which is relevant to each individual. Then you have the email information, which in this section you are asked to provide contact information, your email obviously, your phone number. The last section is declaration and review, where this one is a very short section where you just need to click a box to say that you have provided accurate information, you're not lying, and also to sign it after you have printed it. After you have completed everything, you have to print this form fact that is going to automatically be shown on the desktop once you have finished filling in the whole entire application. After that, you will be given a sort of sheet where there is a picture, there is a big QR code, which is the front of your application. Then you are going to be sent a notice. You are going to be shown a notice saying which your application number is, which you will need to use when you make an appointment. When doing an appointment, you are going to be asked your form number and also your passport number. After you have provided these two, you are free to choose a date that is suitable for you. So it is advised to book your appointment at least 20 days in advance, because usually the London visa application center is quite busy, and you might find that you don't find a place and the time that's suitable for you. So better early than sorry. Now I will give you some quick advice and reminders. When you apply for your visa, it's advisable to not to apply too early, but not to apply too late as well. You should not apply more than 3 months in advance, because your visa might expire by the time you have to travel to China, or once you are there, which might cause you some trouble you don't want to deal with. Also, you should apply 1 month earlier. In my case, this year, I applied exactly 1 month earlier. I applied at the beginning of June, as I'm traveling to China at the beginning of July, so it was just fine. The entire assessment process takes around 4 days. In case you are in a hurry, you can apply for the express service, which takes a fee and takes around 2 days. Talking about fees, the visa fee, it's different for different nationalities. So I am Romanian, therefore my fee for the visa was different. Visa fee different from the US visa fee. You just have to check the table provided on the website, where there are additional information you can look through. Another important thing to keep in mind is that when you apply for the visa, you first arrive at the visa center, where you are going to have all your documents checked. They are going to ask you if you have your invitation letter, which I said is really important. After you have been checked by the receptionist at the visa application center, you are going to be given a number, which is a queue number, which is going to be displayed on a big screen once you have to go to the relevant desk. The process, when you finally get to the consular desk, takes around 5 minutes or even less. After that, you're going to be given a piece of paper where you're going to be shown when you need to pick your visa. Also, they're going to tell you how long the visa is going to take, and then they're going to send you literally downstairs, where you will have to wait again for your number to be called, and this time you will have to pay the visa fee. After the entire process, you are free to go. On the whole process takes about half an hour. Even though there are a lot of people, the visa center does its job really well. On the day that you come to collect your visa and your passport, it is compulsory to bring in your visa collection form, which is provided after you have paid your fee. If you don't have that one, you are not going to be able to collect your visa and your passport. The process goes fairly quick, since you don't have to queue, because once you have arrived there, you are going to stay in a queue, but they are going to occasionally ask whether somebody is waiting to collect their passport, and they're going to pick you out of the queue, give you a number, you go downstairs and you get your visa, which is awesome, I think so. So it takes around 10 minutes or even less, depending on the case and occasion. Yes, now I am going to talk a little bit more about the document. So, as I have previously said, the first and most important document that you need to bring with you is the passport. The passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months. So, in case your passport is going to expire within the next 6 months, you need to get a new one before you apply for the visa. Also, when you apply for the visa and your passport is still valid, it also needs to have enough free pages where you are going to get your visa sticked on. Since we're talking about the passport, you will need to provide a copy of the front page where all your information are displayed. Then you have to provide a photocopy of your previous visa in case you have one. If you don't have one, you don't have to worry about such a thing. Also, if it's relevant to you, you might need to provide a photocopy of your ID. This usually doesn't apply to UK citizens, but it did apply to me since we use IDs for identification in Romania. Another important document, as I said, is the the invitation letter. You need to provide this either in the original, in case the institution that you are going to visit has sent it to you via post. If they haven't, they usually provide a PDF, which works just fine. Just make sure that you print it. I printed it in color, and then I photocopied it. So I had two copies of my invitation letter and all the relevant information of the institution that I am going to go to in China. Then I was talking about the picture, which is really important because if they see that it's not you, they are going to reject your application. So don't make a joke out of that and use an accurate picture where you don't wear glasses, you don't wear bangs, you display your whole entire face, your whole entire face shape. Don't wear any accessories that might take over your face. Just simply put your hair behind your ears, make your forehead visible. Don't smile too awkwardly, and you're good to go. You can even take your picture yourself or visit one of the booths that you can basically find at a shopping center or maybe at a university. Then for people that don't apply for a visa in their home country, as it was my case, you need to provide residence proof. For me, my residence proof was my enrollment letter at the university, which I asked to have it printed by hand, so a hard copy of that one. I also provided one that I would automatically generate on the university page, but they didn't even look at it, they just checked the first one that they saw. They are not too picky about it, they need to see that you are in the United Kingdom just because you're going to university, you are a student. I think it's not relevant to me, but I think that if you are a UK citizen, you might provide your certificate of birth or something like that. I cannot really advise you on that because it was not relevant to me, so I didn't do my research on that part. But you can go ahead and ask. When you arrive to the visit center, have two folders. One that has the documents that they specifically ask in the application process, and some documents that you think that they might ask for because there is this very particular point in the terms and conditions where they say that the consular that checks your documents might ask for additional information. So in case they ask for more, you are prepared and you have everything. What I also brought with me was my bank statement, a proof of accommodation in the UK, and a few additional photocopies of my documents just in case they need more. If you have everything that I have described earlier, you should not worry. The process of applying is fairly easy, it's fairly simple now that it has been also simplified. Because I'm talking from experience, last year it was way more difficult, and there were more information. The visa form was in Chinese and in English, and usually you might get confused. But this time it's fairly easy. It's all in English. You print it out, you sign it, you bring it in, you smile to the consular, they give you the visa, you travel to China. This is everything. Thank you for watching.